Alright, so let's get this started, and this is the first one. Is gonna be about drums. So the next video, it's a playthrough of a song, and it's a very special song for me, but I'll get to the beginning first so it makes sense. In 1997, I was introduced to this band called Skyscraper. They're from Brazil, São Paulo, the city where I'm from. And my neighbors, they knew this band, you know, they had the cassette for that band, and was an underground band, independent band. But as soon as I heard the music, it was like this power metal, a lot of harmonies, you know, fast drumming, and a lot of guitars and solos and themes and big epic music, and to me it was right away like super big in my head, and you know, I just fell in love right away with it. And I remember I actually stole the tape from Marco and João, my neighbors, and the guys that showed me the music. So I stole that tape and I kept with me, and in 1999 I went to live in Australia for 1 year, and I took that tape with me. I had my little Walkman before I had a Discman, and I would listen to that music all day. You know, I had my mixtapes that I would change with my friends from high school and all that stuff, but you know, that tape in particular would always be with me anywhere I went. And I remember even like weekends we would gather, you know, our friends would gather in somebody's house, or even, you know, by the beach in Manly Wharf in Sydney, where we were living at the time. And you know, that would be always that point of the night where we just put my headphones in and listen to the music and be air drumming to the songs. And I listened to that music so much, I learned all the drum parts. It was just crazy, you know, like fanatic with the music. And up until one day, I remember one of, you know, those gatherings, a friend came to me and said, "Hey man, why are you in the corner all the time? You know, what's going on with that?" And I said, "No dude, I'm just, you know, practicing, you know, listening to the songs and just air drumming to the parts." And it was like, "So yeah, but what are you listening to, you know?" So I put the music on a stereo system that they had in the house or whatever that day. And everybody was kind of blown away. Wow, this is really impressive. So who's playing? You know, what band is this? And you know, for a second I was like, oh my god, yeah. It just felt the right thing to do. I just thought it was my band. You know, I never met the guys in the band. It wasn't my band. And you know, I was like 16 at the time and just a big fan of the band. The band never met me up until that moment, but I just flat out, it's my band. And I don't believe you. No, it's true, it's my band. You know, I can play the parts. So I would be drumming and showing, you know, the fills and, you know, some double kick stuff. And one of the guys was like, "Hey man, he's doing it, you know, yeah, I think it's his band." And so that was pretty cool until one day I was staying at Homestay Family, you know, I was just 16 or 17 at the time. And I was showing to my, you know, by now I'm the drummer of this band, and I was showing this tape to my Homestay Family sister. But the band, Skyscraper at the time, they recorded a cover from Kansas, Play the Game. And you know, Play the Game came on the stereo, and she was like, "Oh, I know this song." I said, "Nah, I don't think you do." You know, so naive of me, I didn't know Play the Game from Kansas at the time, you know, shame on me. But you know, dude, I know this band, you know, this is Kansas, this is Play the Game. And oh yeah, you know, then, you know, she was like, "Yeah, I'll keep your secret, you know, it's fine." But that's the story. And you know, a few years later I actually met Marcos Naza, you know, the guitar player, leader for Skyscraper. You know, he's the mastermind behind their music. And we became friends, you know. I always expressed that, you know, I was a big fan of the band, and you know, we didn't talk much, but you know, I met him, so that was cool. And then, you know, 20 years later, I'm living in LA now for almost 7 years now, and 20 years later, he just messaged me on, you know, Messenger on Facebook, and he was asking me these questions about my studio here in LA, and about talking about Skyscraper and life and in general, just talks about Mindflow, my band that I'll talk about that later. But we were just talking, and he asked me, say, what do you think if we record drums for some new Skyscraper songs? And I thought he was asking me to connect with some people here. I know a lot of drummers in town, and I just thought he was interested in me hooking him up, using my studio, kind of production executive kind of stuff for him. But he was, no dude, actually I want you to record the songs. And I said, oh man, and, this is ultra flattering, but I'm not the same drummer as I thought I was 20 years ago. I'm not sure if I'm the best fit. But you know what? Let me hear the songs, man. Let me see, and if I don't think this is my thing, then I'll be happy to find you a great drummer. But let me hear it first. And then he sent me this song, The Truth. And right away I was like, my mind was blown. It was just everything was back again. All those feelings from 20 years ago, me back in Australia, and I just sat on my drum set and start going through the parts and figuring stuff out, and it just made me feel so good, so good. It was so nice to play the song and just reignite this big inspiring flame that was kind of kept under inside me for some time, and I just called and say, dude, this thing is amazing, send me more. He sent me 7 songs, but that's the story behind Skyscraper and myself and this music. The Truth is a very fun music to play, some big moments there, and yeah, feel free to check it out, and if you have any comments, drop by. I'm surely will read them all. Alright, so yeah, that's it. Enjoy. Thank you.